Hello everyone. So my name is Neal Layton and I am the illustrator of Boing. So what is Boing? Well, Boing is a book of poems by the poet James Carter, all about bugs and mini-beasts, two of my favourite things. So ever since I was little, I think when I was about 5 or 6, we moved to a house that had a little garden. And I remember spending hours and hours out there exploring, seeing what I could find, like worms in the mud or insects crawling about on the leaves or woodlice underneath old bits of wood. Because the thing is, when you get out into the natural world and you start looking around you, there's just so much to see. And there's so much to learn about too. And the nice thing about James' book is that he's not only got the poems about the mini beasts and the bugs, he's also got facts too. Like, for instance, did you know that ants have the biggest of all bug brains? Anyway, I thought might be rather nice if I took you into my studio now, which is a room in my house where I do all my illustrating, and I can show you a little bit about how I made the illustrations for this book, Boing. Okay, let's go. Okay, so this is my studio where I do all my work. So here, this is my drawing board. So this is where I do most of my drawing. I mostly draw in pencil. I've got lots of different types of pencils, different shapes and sizes. Some of them are quite kind of thick graphite sticks. I also like to draw in pens. And sometimes I draw in ink with brushes, and I'll dip the brush into the ink and I draw lines that way. So that's where I do most of my drawing. And then when I'm happy with the drawings that I've done, I will scan them into my computer, and then I will start to arrange things and colour things, and I can actually do little bits of drawing on the computer with a special computer pen as well. But what I do is I'll show you one of the spreads from Boing, and I'll show you how it came from rough pencil drawings to a finished artwork. So this is a super speeded up animation of one of the spreads from Boing. So you can see it starts with James' words, and then I start drawing in pencil, thinking, how can I turn James' words to life in drawings? And gradually I start to refine the drawing. So you can see that butterfly at the top left is starting to look a little bit more detailed. And at the bottom left, you've got a moth and a bug. I'm also thinking about colours at this point, thinking what colours would look good and what would fit James' poem. Making better hands, you can see there. And then at the bottom left, can you see that moth? That is a garden tiger moth. So I decided what sort of moth I wanted for the book, and you can see those in your garden, hopefully. And it's nearly finished now. Just checking that the words fit, and there we go, finished illustration. So that was me showing how I did some of the illustrations for Boing, and I thought to finish we could do a draw along, so you guys get to do some drawing too. And I thought we could draw a wasp, because there's a lovely poem about wasps in the book Boing. So if you want to do the draw along, what you will need is a sheet of white paper, a pen, I've got a black pen there, and something that's yellow, like a yellow colour pencil, or I've got a yellow wax crayon or a yellow pen. So let's put that there. So what we're going to do, we're going to start by drawing the wasp's head. So if you draw a sort of shape that's a bit like a kind of upside down egg like that, that's the wasp's head. Now wasps are insects, and insects have 3 parts to their body. So they have a head, and then they have what's called a thorax. So let's draw that. And then the last bit of their body is what's called an abdomen. And wasps' abdomens go like that. So head's a bit like an upside down egg, Then we've got another circle, a bit like a jelly bean. And then we've got a sort of a teardrop on its side shape. So now it needs an eye. And because it's an insect, it has 2 antennae at the front, like that. And because it's a flying insect, it needs 2 wings, like that. And because it's an insect, it has 6 legs. So if you're going to draw it properly, you can draw all 6 legs, or sometimes when I'm drawing them, I sort of imagine that some of the legs might be hidden, but I'm going to draw it properly, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 legs, like that. And now it needs its stripes, because we all know that wasps have lovely stripes, don't they? If you're going to do them really simply, they sort of look like that, and there's this little sting at the end. But actually, if you look at wasps, their stripes are actually much more complicated, and they have sort of little dots in there, and the stripes are a bit wiggly. Right, what do I need to do now? I think I'm just going to roughly sort of colour in his head a little bit in black, because the head's kind of dark colour. I'm going to colour in the thorax a little bit here, like that. And here's the really fun bit. I've got my yellow. I'm going to colour in the lovely yellow colour of its abdomen. And there you go, a wasp. If you want to sort of finish your drawing off a bit, you could get another colour, like perhaps green, and draw in some green grass, and then it kind of looks like it's flying. I mean, you could add flowers, you could add clouds. It's your drawing. You can do whatever you want. But anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for watching. And if you do read Boing this summer, I hope you enjoy it. Bye.